Welcome to Translatable. I'm Dwayne Wade.
And I'm Zaya Wade, and welcome to Translatable. Translatable aims to serve as a community safe space for youth to express themselves through a number of creative outlets. Here at Translatable, we focus on communities of color, center the most marginalized, and emphasize the importance of parents and family.
Translatable is also a resource hub for parents, families, and support system of the LGBTQIA plus youth. For our family, we were blessed to have a community of supporters and knowledgeable experts who could swiftly arm us with the tools we needed to support Zaya in her journey. We recognize the lack of digestible and relatable information available to youth and families, especially communities of color. And to this day, we are still learning. I'm so very proud of the daughter that I've had the opportunity to raise. She has been my biggest educator and inspiration of what it means to be true to you. That's why it's so important to create a collaborative space for the community to participate in the conversation and express themselves freely.
Now let's have some fun. Over the next few months, we'll be rolling out content, resource guides, and interactive features where we can hear from you.
We want to emphasize that the learning never stops. You can expect to see ever evolving content and resources to keep you up to date on Translatable.
So make sure to sign up for email updates. We're just getting started.
All right, first of all, let me just say this to you, right? This is actually death. And the first thing that I want to point out is this, is that they put emphasis on the black community when it comes to this. And I told you, whenever they want to introduce anything to us, they have to get us to accept it first. More importantly, the so-called black woman, they have to get her to accept it first. And who is supposedly, I'm not calling this a girl. This is Dwayne Wade's son. Who is this person's biggest supporter? Huh? Gabrielle Union? If I'm not mistaken? Huh? This shit is sickening. This is death. So they put the emphasis on so-called black community, which we ain't never going to accept this bull crap. This is a sacrifice of their child for money, for fame and fortune of this world. And those that have done this to the youth of our own species, they will be the biggest examples for us. Remember that. They will be the biggest examples. Now, let me also point you to the light. I want to also point you to the light with this. As much as I tell y'all that the sun is changing and things are taking place on the planet, and this is happening due to the entire solar system, and this planet is being worked on 24 hours, 7 days a week, Gregorian calendar time and universal time. It is whatever you want to call it. It is constantly being worked on. Now, by me looking at the emphasis that they are pushing when it comes to transgender period, youth, this period in the so-called black community, it tells me clearly that we are at the end of this darkness coming into the pure light. And this entity want to have us in such an embarrassing state that our own brothers and sisters would not even want to come into and even have a conversation with you. Would just want to sweep the planet completely clean. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So no matter how much they pump this right here, our people are not going to accept this as a whole. A broken clock tells the right time twice a day. We are a broken clock. So this may happen twice out of 10 people, out of 10 males. But this ain't happening no more. This is coming to a complete, not out of 10, out of 100, 2 out of 100 males. This is coming to a complete end. So this is how I know, because if you go back in history, more importantly, go back to Rome when Rome fell. All of this shit was going on. Transgender, homosexuality, child molestation, all of it. It was brutal. It was real brutal. Sex all in the street with animals, dogs. It didn't make a difference. However, when it started to be pushed onto the children, when it was starting to be pushed to the children, hormone blockers, you know what I'm saying, influence through education system, through foods and vaccines. Yes, increasing estrogen in males, increasing protein, testosterone in women. Women are growing beards now. Yes, this is happening, and we are at the end. And how I know is because when it was the pump, the attack on children, and everybody, all the grown children, aka adults, turned a deaf ear and a blind eye to it, to accept worldly possessions in place of our star seeds, of our children. So this is how I know. Be prepared, my people. And if you have to get prepared, then you're not prepared. This is a clear sign. So I see it clear as day. To pump this to our community, to our children, as we turn a deaf ear and a blind eye for fame, fortune, and all other materialistic things that means absolutely nothing. This is a sacrifice, and it's clear as day right in front of our face. These scripts, both of them are reading off of a script, and it is really hurting me. It is really disheartening as a so-called black man to watch this man be so proudly to support this type of death to his own son. And they said that they put this all in the Bible. How many of them had to sacrifice how many of them was willing to sacrifice their own son for God? You would never have to sacrifice yourself for the universe. But how many of them in the Bible was willing to sacrifice their only son for God? Huh? Even Jesus was sacrificed for God. Understand that. Abundance and gratitude to you all.